Welcome everyone to the Laredo College Alumni Series. Today we are here with Vanessa Ramirez, a proud Laredo College alumna and the owner of the Clementine's Kitchen restaurant here in Laredo. Vanessa, how are we doing today?
I'm doing very good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, I would like to start this interview by having you telling us a little bit about yourself and how did you first fell in love with cuisine?
I've always loved cooking since I was little. I didn't really get into cooking until after I had my second daughter. I decided not to go back to work. So I was a stay-at-home mom. And I just became obsessed with food. I was obsessed with Food Network. I was obsessed with anything having to do with, making things from scratch. So I started doing my own research. And so that's when I decided I think I like it enough where I want to pursue it a little bit further. So I told my husband, once our little one goes to school, then I want to go to school. And that's kind of where it took off.
Where you choose that path?
Where I chose that path,
Was
yes.
there any specific moment in which you said, this is what I want to do in my life? Like any specific memory?
Not really. I did a lot of things throughout my life that I thought were going to take me where I wanted to be. And then, for a reason, it didn't work out. So, I've always had a liking for cooking. I just didn't know about culinary school. I didn't know it existed. If I knew it existed when I was younger, I think I would have taken that path. I don't know. But like a specific moment, I want to say maybe like throughout, me being a stay-at-home mom and think about what I want to do with my life. Mm. Not just as a mom, but like me personally, like what do I want to do? That's probably where I thought like this is something that I would want to pursue.
I understand. And so when you were younger, you were undecisive on what career you wanted to pursue? Yes,
because I grew up playing sports. And so playing sports, I always thought, well, I want to be a coach.
Okay.
And then I volunteered to be a coach. And I said, this is not for me. So I was like, no. So after that, I tried to be a firefighter. And then they said, you have to be an EMT. And I said, nope, I can't do blood. I don't do needles, none of that stuff. I tried for Border Patrol. And they asked me some specific questions on the test. And one of the specific questions was, if you see a mom and her daughter trying to cross the border, what would you do? And I said, my mind, I was like, I would help. So I'm like, so definitely this job is not for me.
Yeah, you were honest.
I was honest, and I said no, like, not for me. I went to school to be an aviation technician. I grew up around all of my uncles that were mechanics, so I thought, well, maybe that's something that I can do. Like right now, I can change a tire or spark plugs or batteries from your car. So I did that. I graduated. For some reason, it didn't work out. So, sometimes when things don't happen and it's like, it's crushing, I feel like it happens for a reason because it's going to lead you to where you were truly meant to be. And I think that's what happened with me. And so I tried, several things, didn't work out. And then just culinary just kind of popped up and
that's
like it's perfect timing.
Yeah, as you mentioned, perfect timing. So, we have a lot of students and even alums that have gone through that same path where they don't know what career they want to pursue. What would be, a recommendation that you will have for them, or what advice can you give them when it comes to choosing a path?
Just try different things. You won't know unless, like food. Like you won't know if you like it unless you try it. So same thing with trying different career paths. like I said, I tried being a coach because I thought that's what I truly wanted to be. And then I tried it and I thought, oh God, no, like, no, no, no. So, just go for it. If you feel like that's something that you would like to pursue or you like, go for it. You tried it, you don't like it, move on to the next thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Because it's not really failing, it's more like you're experiencing different paths.
Yes, and testing them.
And testing them, yes, yes. Because you don't want to be somewhere where you really don't want to be just because, well, I did it, now I'm stuck, and now I got to, stick to it. No, no, no. Like, you can change your mind and you can do other things.
Yes, we all have options, no
Yes.
matter on what stage of our life are we in.
Right.
So how did you end up in Laredo College?
I was at Sam's one day. Again, I didn't know that there was culinary classes, but I went to Sam's one day and I saw one of the instructors, the chefs, and he was wearing his chef coat. And I saw him and I thought, oh, why? I wonder where he works or like what he does, and I was already interested in food and culinary. So when I saw him, I got excited, and then I saw his jacket that said LCC back then. And then so I searched up LCC and I saw that they offered culinary classes. I was like, oh, wow, like, that's so awesome. Maybe this is something that I could do. And yeah, that's how I went about it. So when my daughters, both of them went to school, then that's when I went to school.
Oh, okay. So you were in college at the same time?
Yes. Yeah. Well, they were in elementary.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, they were little. So when my smallest went to elementary at 3 years old, I went to I waited for 2 years for her to go to school so that I could go to school.
Oh, okay. So that, it's perfect timing.
Yes, the schedule to work out. Mm-hmm.
And how was your experience as a culinary arts student? Were the final exams like cooking cakes, or how does it work?
Yes. So first it's classes. You learn about
The theory?
techniques. You learn the terms. You learn the words, what they mean, and steps to get to cooking, like certain sauces or soups or anything really. Mm-hmm. So you're in the classroom first, and then they kind of like put you to the test in the kitchen, but they give you a chance to practice. Obviously, so you practice, and then if I remember correctly, I think it's like at the end of the week or at the end of the month, they test you on it. So they'll leave you to yourself and they'll say, okay, you need to cook this, and this, and you cook it, and then they grade you on that. And
is it grade, given by the professor due to the taste and
yes,
and
to
all
the
of that?
taste. So taste, consistency, visuality, if it looks good, if it tastes good, does it have a savory? Does it have a sweet? Is it supposed to be crunchy? Is it not supposed to be crunchy? So, it was fun. You learn a lot for sure. I know I was a sponge and I just wanted more. I was one of those students that would always ask questions.
As you should.
And everybody would be like, I'm like, it's because I want to know, So, so yeah, I was very much like a sponge. I just wanted to learn all that I could. But it was fun. I liked it. It teaches you proper techniques and basics. Basics are so important. You never want to skip the basics.
Yeah, I feel that you need to build that base first.
Yes.
To then stay on the top.
Yes, very, very important. Yes. You may think that you don't need it, but once you learn it and you put it to use out in the real world, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. And you think, well, okay, this is why they teach you like the little things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So how do you feel that LC shaped you not only academically and professionally, but also as a person?
Well, in the culinary world, pretty much like anywhere else, you have to work as a team, and there has to be a lot of communication. So that helped a lot. because you come in and you don't know anybody, you don't know any of the people that are in your classroom. And so, working in a kitchen, you have to talk to each other. You have to be like, hey, I'm going here, I'm going there. I'm doing this. What are you doing? I'm working on this. Can you work on that while I'm doing this? You know what I mean? It's like a multitask, environment. And so that also helps you and shapes you to kind of be ready to work in a kitchen, in a restaurant kitchen. Yeah.
So, what was the first steps that you took once you graduated from LC before owning Clementine's?
So before I started LC, I started cooking plates from home, which you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to, but I thought, man, I have to start from somewhere. I have to start getting my clientele, And so I started off with teachers because my friends were teachers. And so I would send them a little text of a menu for the week. And I would have, this and this, what time I was going to deliver, and all that good stuff. I also started with desserts, which I'm not a fan of. Mm-hmm. But I felt like I also needed to get my feet wet with that as well. So everything I learned off the internet and watching TV and, doing my research. So I started with desserts, and then I went with selling plates from home, and then, cooking for my friends. And so they would tell me, they were like my little guinea pigs, and they would say, oh, this, yes, this, no. And then, so I did that for a while, and then I stopped doing that because I ended up going to culinary school.
And I know that you mentioned to me that you had a food truck in a space of time.
Yes. So when I was still in school, mm-hmm. and my husband kept asking me, like, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with culinary after you're done? And I said, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me finish school first, and then, we'll go from there, because I want to work at some restaurants also to get some experience before, I land on something. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay. And then again, he would ask me, well, what are you going to do? Like, what do you think? He's very pushy. And one day he just says, I found a food truck. Do you want it? And if you do, you have a month to come up with a menu.
Ooh, he gave a timeline and everything.
He gave me a timeline and everything. So that's really where it started. Like, being the owner of Clementine's. And that's where it started.
And what was the process of creating that menu? Like, what were your thoughts, and how you made it happen?
I don't know. It was crazy. It was hectic. But I know that I wanted to create a food truck menu, mm-hmm. which is, fun, fast, like a handheld type of deal. And so, I wanted to start off with a very simple menu. And the chile relleno fried balls, those I had gotten the idea from school, because we had worked on some croquettes.
Okay.
Some Scottish eggs, and it's a very similar process. And I thought, well, how can I make something that fits our menu into like a croquette? And I called my family and I said, guys, what's our favorite Mexican plate? And we all agreed. We said chile relleno. I'm like, okay, how can I make chile relleno into a ball? And then that's how it kind of came about. And I worked on it. All those recipes I had already worked on before. A year, 2 years, I had already worked on some stuff, and then I just incorporated into the food truck menu.
And after the food truck, what happened until you were the owner of Clementine's? What was that process when you wanted to own a restaurant?
I didn't want to own a restaurant.
Oh, you didn't?
No. Oh. I actually wanted to go into catering.
Okay.
because I had that experience from home, cooking plates and cooking, in a large quantity, I thought, you know what, I think catering fits to where I am right now, or how I feel about, cooking. I thought, no, I think catering is going to be my thing. And then when my husband popped up with the food truck, I said, okay, so that shifted, and then it shifted to having a food truck. And then during the food truck, actually, Sandra from Pan American Courts had called me, and she said, hey, the restaurant, the space is going to become available. Would you be interested? And my first answer was, I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was, I don't know. I don't think so.
And what made you change your mind?
It was like a screw it moment, like just go for it type of deal. Because at the time that we had the food truck, we also had a little space at a shell. We had a little restaurant inside a shell, and people started going, and they were like, hey, like there's nowhere to sit. There's like, like how do you eat? And I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a stand-up thing, or like it's just a to-go. And so when we started getting a lot of requests for like tables to like dine in, that opportunity came about, and I said, well, customers are asking, like they want to sit, so maybe like it would be a good idea. Well, let's try it. So we tried it. I said yes, and we still kept the food truck. But after a while, the restaurant kind of like took over, and we didn't have time for the food truck anymore. So we shifted from the food truck to the restaurant.
And once you decided that you wanted to, acquire the restaurant, what was the process of, creating this Clementine's experience? Because, I go there every week and I love it.
Thank you.
So how do you created that menu that it's so, first of all, delicious, and it has a lot of options? What was the process of creating this Clementine's experience?
Well, my first initial thought was, I don't want to do Mexican food. That was my number one rule. Do not make Mexican food, just because I wanted to provide something a little bit different. Obviously, I love Mexican food. I eat it every day. But sometimes you want something a little bit different. And so that's what I wanted to create. I didn't necessarily want to have a Mexican menu. And my second favorite meal is pasta. Anything having spaghetti, kind of like Italian. So I went off of that a little bit, and I thought, okay, I want to create something Americanish, but with like a little Mexican twist. And then after a few years, I just thought, man, like anything can come off of our menu, because we're a kitchen. I don't put a label on us, because if one day I want to bring in Chinese, like I want to put it out there, or Korean, or, so I don't put a label on us, because I want us to just put out good food. That's another motto of ours, like we just want to put out good, simple food that tastes good, and you want to come back and eat more.
And we do.
Yes.
We do. So can you please walk us on a regular day as the owner of Clementine's?
Regular day as the owner of Clementine's. It's a little complicated, because I'm also a mom.
Oh, yeah.
So my morning starts off, dropping off my daughters at school. After I drop them off, it's Sam's, HEB, sometimes RC, sometimes
to bring the
Casa
supplies.
Juarez. Yes, so I do all the rebuys. I go and buy everything. We also buy everything fresh, which is why I go every day to rebuy, because everything is fresh. The only thing that we have frozen are green beans. So we're very big on that, on freshness. So I do that every day. I go back to the restaurant, drop everything off. I will sometimes help prep, cook, and then during service, if we need help in the front, I'm a server. If there's something wrong in the restroom, I'm a plumber. If the dishwasher's out, I'm a dishwasher. I'm basically back and forth. I'm everywhere. Obviously, customer service, complaints. I'm also there. Caterings, phone calls, questions on the phone, through Facebook, through Instagram. And then, I'm grateful to have employees to where I can leave at a certain time to go pick up my daughters from school. And, they have their practices and school and this and that. So sometimes I don't end up getting home till like 9, 10.
Wow.
From the morning to nighttime, because I'm just up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
It's nonstop, yes, and that's every day. But it's fun. It's fun. I don't see it as like,
Yeah.
It's fun. I love it. I'm grateful that I have a team, because it's not only me. I have a team. I'm very grateful for these girls and the guys that I have working for me. And, they do most of the work. They do most of the work, and they're there all day prepping, cooking, and getting stuff out. And it took a while to get there because we did go through COVID.
Mm-hmm. Was that the biggest challenge that you faced?
Yes, that was our biggest challenge. We opened January of 2020.
Oh, okay.
So we started off really well. We opened our doors, I think, January 15th. And by March, everything just went down. Yeah. And, nobody knew what was going on, and it was new, and it was weird, and it was crazy. And so we also had to, we ended up closing for 3 weeks, and then we reopened, and then we had to change our hours. We went from dining separate to just to go, to just curbside, to just, taking away all our tables, to, okay, let's try these hours. Well, let's adjust, and let's do this, and let's do that. Yeah. So that lasted a few years. Thank God
You survived.
we made it. Yes, we survived.
So you overcome that challenge by, trying different strategies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
You
see what
have to.
works.
Yes, you have to. You have to see what works. Because it's not only about you, me, or the restaurant. I also have employees that depend on the restaurant. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
Okay, how can we bring in more people? Or what do you think is the best time? Should we offer some type of a special? Should we change our menu a little bit? Should we, and that is one of the requests that I got a lot, is to bring in Mexican food, because they felt like I needed that because of the area where we are. But no,
It's not happening.
It's not happening. I stuck to my guns. I said, no. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a struggle, but we overcame. And I'm glad that I didn't change
Your idea.
my idea, like my views. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. And so for all of our culinary arts students and our alums that may someday want to become chefs or owning their own restaurant or just becoming entrepreneurs by themselves, what is an advice that you can give them?
My best advice would be, honestly, just go for it. There's never the right time or the perfect time to pursue something. If you feel it, and you believe in whatever it is that you want to pursue, your product, your whatever it may be, just go for it. Because if you keep waiting for that perfect time, I feel like you're just going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. We didn't start in the most conventional way. Our food truck was not the best food truck. I always say that it was a box, really. It was una cajita, and we had to put in things to make it work. We did not have the capital or the funds to go and buy, restaurant equipment or fancy equipment. We started off, I got a grill for Mother's Day. It's an outdoor grill. We chopped off the legs of that outdoor grill, and that's what we put on our food truck. And that was our grill.
So you improvised.
Yeah, we improvised. And like I said, we didn't start in the most conventional way, but if you believe in yourself, you believe in what your product or what you want to put out there, like just go for it. Just go for it. Work hard for it. Be consistent. Consistency, I feel like, is very underrated. If you're very consistent, then consistency comes in. It's hard because you're not going to have all perfect days or awesome days.
Can you imagine?
Yes, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have good days, but just work through it and just keep at it. Keep being consistent. Work hard for what you believe in and what you want to get back from it, and you'll get there. It'll come. And it's worth the wait. It's a struggle. It'll be hard. You're gonna want to cry.
You may cry.
You may cry. You're gonna throw things, and you're gonna want to throw in the towel, which I did. It was hard because it was during COVID, and I thought, man, I didn't know it was gonna be this hard. And so I remember telling my husband, like, I'm done. This is very stressful. And he said, nope.
You gotta get going.
You gotta keep going. And I thought, oh God. I'm like, okay. And thank God we did.
Yeah.
Because
And right now.
Through all the trials, tribulations, failures, and everything, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you for that.
For sure, yeah.
Thank you for that. Now, I have one last question. Yes. What does being an Laredo College, or when you graduated with Laredo Community College, alumni, what does it mean for you?
It means proud. I feel proud. I was born here. I grew up here. You go through a time where you say, oh, there's nothing in Laredo, there's nothing to do, or, and you want to leave, which I did. I did leave when I was younger, but I feel like everybody always comes back. And I think it has to do with, being proud of where you came from, your family, your culture. And so having these opportunities here at LC, is huge. And it definitely made a huge difference in my life in a very positive way. And I'm grateful that we had culinary school, because sometimes I think, well, if I didn't have the opportunity to come to LCC, how would I have done it? Where would my career be right now, or where would I be right now?
Clementine's kitchen wouldn't be so tasty.
Clementine's kitchen wouldn't be so tasty, yeah. So I'm proud to be from Laredo, graduated from Laredo, and it's amazing that LC provides a lot of different career opportunities, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you for sharing your story, your journey, and for showing us again that success begins here in Laredo College. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you on the next LC Alumni Series.